Hey y'all, I saw Straw by Tyler Perry a few days ago and it went a little bit better than expected. Um, and I'll be talking about that today, as well as talking a bit more about the director, Tyler Perry. Straw is a Tyler Perry directed film starring Taraji P. Henson, Sherry Shepherd, and Tiana Taylor, I believe. Um, so let's talk about it. I would love to just start off by saying that I have seen older Tyler Perry movies, the movies that we all grew up watching, the Medea movies, um, all those kind of older classic pieces, which did their bit. They are good classics. They're entertaining. However, as Tyler has continued his reinforcement of multiple tropes and stereotypes and his particular indulgence in the fixation of portraying Black women in a very specific type of way, which is proving to be counterproductive. I have kind of stepped back, really. I don't really watch Tyler Perry movies, to be honest, apart from some old classic things. I just don't engage. However, I do, I really kind of was intrigued by this trailer in particular. And to be completely fair, I did see the last Tyler Perry film I saw was the Kerry Washington one, which I believe came out last year, 8886. I'm probably butchering that, and that was actually okay. But Straw was really fascinating, and again, it certainly has brought up a lot of topic of conversation online about the state of cinema and the kind of Herculean universe that Tyler Perry has created, primarily off the back of telling tragic stories of Black women. So looking at the movie itself, I actually was intrigued and I was engaged for the whole film. I mean, Taraji P. Henson is a wonderful actress. She's brilliant in the things that she does, and in this as well. I think from the quality of work that we normally see from a Tyler Perry, I actually don't think this was that bad. And I think a lot of people have been kind of saying this was really, really horrible. Look, I think it was actually an okay story. I was not bored. I was engaged, which, I watched till the end. I was anticipating what was next, and I think that was in part to, really the cast really carrying this one. What I did like about it, I think the things that did stick out the most for me was, again, just probably the acting. And in my view, I think it's very rare that I see that a film is not good purely because of the acting ability. I think actors have to work with what they're given, and they just have to do the best with the work that they're given. But I actually was pleasantly surprised by Tiana Taylor. This was the very first film that I've ever seen her in. Of course, she's starring in the next film that I cannot recall the name of. I think it's coming out in a few months, that has Leonardo DiCaprio, and that was a really surprising casting choice. But now that I've seen Straw, I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of get it. Like, Tiana Taylor was a very pleasant surprise. She was really, really good. She really held down, and she had a presence on the screen. So I was pretty impressed by that, and I think that was really pleasant surprise, which added to what was working for this one. I think, yeah, I did like how it was a tight story and how there wasn't too much going on, how they kept it really simple and contained to that particular day. Again, this is not a review that will be talking about the synopsis of this movie too much, but to not give too much away, Straw is basically a movie about a single mother who just basically has a day from hell, and she's really struggling financially. She's struggling with her mental health severely, and she takes care of her little daughter. And essentially, Straw is the depiction of a day or two from hell where everything possibly wrong happens to this family for a whole day. And Taraji P. Henson's character ends up being in a bank, robbing it, as you can see in the trailer. So that's the synopsis. So yeah, I thought it was contained. I thought it was tight. I thought it was engaging. Once again, you know, you know exactly what to expect from a Tyler Perry movie, of course. We have the big uses of, you know, displays of emotion and things really being very big and very kind of theatrical and almost caricatured and just larger than life. Which can take away from the seriousness of his cinema, unfortunately. But that's the style of his cinema. And honestly, if you came to watch a Tyler Perry movie expecting something different, I think by now we know what he does. So let's say what it is. You know, I actually thought it was all right. Like, we knew what we're signing up for when we go to a Tyler Perry movie, and for Tyler Perry, I actually thought that was okay. Um, so for the wider conversation of Tyler Perry, um, you know, I just feel as if he's truly, truly obsessed with the plight of the struggling Black woman. And I think the reason that he double downs on this trope is that it's obviously selling. And as much frustration as potentially younger people are having with his work and the continuous portrayal of Black women who already are fighting for decent representation in the media, who already have minimal representation in media, this puts the group of people in a position where the little representation that is had should be taken care of with care, essentially. And unfortunately, Tyler Perry is one of those people who are very actually quite influential and recognizable, and he has driven a huge part of the industry and the portrayal of Black women in the media, and that's a fact that we cannot deny. And has he been super responsible with that? No, because of the continuation of the perpetuation of portraying the exact same story of the Black woman. And I think it's irresponsible on his part. And I think someone who has such an influence on the industry ought, you know, and really this is not just a group, you know, of people who, well, there's not a lot of choice and options for us. So when there's someone who is so responsible and so impactful in media, you know, actively not diversifying portrayals of people, it's kind of harmful. And I think the reason that he continues to do well financially, I mean, I think he has, like, isn't he a billionaire, or he has a billion-dollar studio production company or something? I mean, this man is doing well, and obviously what he's doing sells, and that's why he continuously regurgitates the story and spits it out. And the reason is because it's selling. Like, he would not be regurgitating this if it was not selling. There is probably a big market for older people, I guess older women who are taking in this you know, this media, and they're probably a really big economic benefit for him. They're probably quite a big group that he is benefiting from financially, and that's why he will continuously regurgitate all of this this media that's not moving us forward in any way, shape, or form. And it's disappointing because we have the likes of Barry Jenkins and Ryan Coogler and Jordan Peele. I know there's not a ton of Black directors that I can think of, and in particular, someone like Ryan Coogler, who is one of my favorites. I've done a video about him on my channel. You're welcome to have a look at that. He is the king of knowing how to represent Black women on screen. He's been able to represent Black women in every light on screen, and they don't suit just one stereotype. They don't fall under one caricature. They're nuanced, they're complex, they are in every light. They're human beings, you know. And he's not leveraging off popcorn you know, entertainment and of simplified, caricatured views of Black women. He really, really goes deep, and that is so beautiful. And I feel that in Black media, you know, we've got people like Ryan Coogler who are taking representation 10 steps backwards. I mean, we had Sinners come out a few months ago. That was just, I mean, Ryan Coogler just has taken strides to representation, to represent Black women. And then we get a, you know, Mr. Tyler Perry, who it feels like he takes us back 15 years back. It's kind of like this push and pull, and I think it's a bit frustrating, you know. And I think Barry Jenkins is the same. He's someone who's really pushed that representation with some of his work, you know, like If Beale Street Could Talk, and you know, the work that he's done. And you know, he's taken steps to that, but unfortunately there's not a lot of voices, right, within the film industry, and a lot of people who are telling Black stories, particularly Black female stories. So there's just not enough people who are doing the thing to show the complexities and the depth of the Black woman. I mean, my favorite people are people like Issa Rae, who's a brilliant writer. And I love, you know, Insecure, if you know, you know, because Insecure was great because it did something for us. Like, the women in Insecure were so relatable. They were quirky. They were, you know, complex, layered. They didn't fall neatly in a box. You know, you had to think about them. So I think it's okay to make popcorn movies that are maybe mindless, but if your popcorn movies are continuously perpetuating harmful stereotypes in already marginalized communities, I think that's irresponsible. You know, there's one thing to make movies about explosions all the time, or I don't know, gorillas and dinosaurs. That is popcorn film that everybody loves and enjoys. But you know, nothing is being harmed in regurgitating the same popcorn stories. But if your popcorn entertainment is the continuous, perpetual harmful stereotypes of a marginalized group of people, and you are one of the biggest voices in the media in representing these groups of people, I think it's irresponsible. And I think Tyler, I think we should just stop. just stop, okay? Get some new writers, get young writers, you know, just do something, right? Because I think it's just getting irresponsible. And, you know, people like Taraji P. Henson, you know, I can't imagine that this is her dream piece of work. I mean, we can't really ignore the fact that Tyler Perry has paid a lot of these actresses what they deserve. You know, I think these videos and stuff where people like Kerry Washington and Taraji P. Henson have said that Tyler Perry has been the person that has matched what they truly should be getting paid in the industry. So we can't deny that. And that, to me, actually means that he's even more responsible, because if he is giving these people opportunities, then he should be giving them opportunities that are meaty and beefy, you know. I don't know if beefy is a word, but meaty is. His child, Taraji, I love her. I love her so much. I was rewatching Hidden Figures a few days ago, and I just thought she's so wonderful. She's so brilliant, you know. She was in The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. She's done so much beautiful work over the years, and I know she's made it pretty public how difficult of a time she's had in the industry. So I can imagine going to someone like Tyler Perry, who will help you out when you're down bad, because I think it's been a while since we've seen her in anything. So I can imagine her going to someone like him in need of of work, and him offering it to her. I don't know. I don't know, guys. But look, my conclusion was Straw was okay, like it was fine, you know? But, you know, the issues remain the same with the work of Mr. Tyler Perry and the Tyler Perry universe. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. I would love to know your thoughts. Please like and subscribe if you are enjoying my content, and watch out for new reviews. Thank you so much for joining in. And I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.